First, taking a moment here to congratulate yourself for intentionally taking this time for yourself and for your practice. Taking care of yourself in this way. This is a 45-minute gentle yoga practice. As you practice, it is important to pay attention to the wisdom of your body, refraining from anything that does not feel right for you. Following along with my instruction as best you can, but allowing your body's wisdom to override my instructions at any time that it feels needed. Taking care of yourself if you feel that modifying the poses might be best for you. Honoring your body and staying within your limits, perhaps at just 60% of your ability. And you always have the option of laying in stillness, bringing awareness to your breathing, and imagining each pose. What is important here is the quality of your awareness that you bring to the practice, bringing awareness to the process of each pose or posture, the movement between postures, intentional awareness of the present moment. Using this time as an opportunity to get to know your physical sensations in a non-judgmental, curious way. Observing, what am I feeling now? And where am I feeling this? Noticing how sensations may change and how thoughts may accompany the body sensations. Getting to know the mind and body with kindness and patience. You also might want to experiment with closing your eyes in some of the postures. Doing what feels right for you. Let's start. So coming to a comfortable position on your back, on perhaps a mat or a carpet on the floor. Laying on your back and allowing yourself to just sink into the floor. Relaxing your legs. Your toes might actually point out from each other. Palms up. Noticing how you're holding your face. Maintaining a relaxed face. This pose is called the corpse pose. And attempting to be very still. Maintaining alertness. and doing what feels comfortable for you. And now noticing the movement of the abdomen with each breath, rising up on the in-breath and out on the out-breath. Feeling your breathing coming in and out of the body. Following each cycle of your breathing. Perhaps noticing the way the floor or mat supports you in this pose. Allowing your muscles to simply let go and release into the support, security of the floor. Now bringing your legs intentionally together. And on an in-breath, raising your arms, lifting them up over your head, all the way back straight so that your arms are next to your ears, reaching and lengthening the body. Perhaps reaching for the other side of the room. And now bringing the arms back straight from above your head down to your sides again. Palms upward if that feels comfortable to you. Breathing. Noticing the body sensations now after you've completed that one pose. And now bending your knees and moving your feet so that they're flat against the floor and your knees are pointed towards the ceiling. I'm going to do some pelvic tilts now. So as you're laying on the floor with your knees upward, you might notice that there's a little curve or arch in your back. Now on an out breath, pressing the back, maybe using your stomach muscles to flatten your back against the floor. Engaging the abdomen, eliminating that space. And on an in-breath, releasing the back and allowing it to arch up toward the ceiling again. Just creating a small space enough that you could fit your hand underneath between your back and the floor. And now engaging the abdomen now and flattening your back against the floor. Eliminating that space. And then releasing. Noticing the curve again in the back. Experimenting with this at your own pace. Tilting the pelvis and noticing your breathing. Keeping the breath natural. And now, straightening your legs and returning to corpse pose. Coming to stillness, breathing naturally and normally. And drawing your knees into your chest, so lifting up your legs and bringing your knees towards your chest and clasping your hands or arms around the knees for lower legs, or sort of hugging your knees. And you can put your arms behind your knees, or you could put them on top of your legs. It's your choice. What feels comfortable for you. And holding the knees towards the chest and perhaps rocking side to side and forward and backwards. Even making little circles as you lay here. Whatever feels right for you. Perhaps it feels like a gentle massage on your back. And experimenting with the head. So the option would be to bring your head towards your knees. And not necessarily touching your knees with your forehead, but just bringing it in that direction. Engaging, noticing the engagement of the neck and the shoulder muscles. Whatever feels right for you right now. And releasing the head back down to the floor, releasing your knees, returning and straightening your legs, bringing your arms back down to your side, palms facing upward, and returning to corpse pose. Breathing naturally and normally. Feeling your breathing in the abdomen. And now drawing up the left knee only. Raising the left knee, lifting it up towards your chest, and grabbing the left knee. Suggesting that you grab behind the knee and under the lower leg. And just gently drawing the knee closer to your chest as far as it feels comfortable for you, not pushing it, maintaining your 60%. Noticing any sensations present. And if you like, moving the knee in circles, side to side, back and forth, exploring the flexibility of the hip joint, upper leg, and pelvis here. Breathing fully. And then bringing that knee to stillness. Experimenting with the head position, perhaps bringing your head towards the knee. Not trying to actually touch the knee, just if that feels comfortable for you, raising the head. And then returning the head down to the floor, releasing the left knee and straightening your leg back down to join the right leg. And returning to corpse pose. And now raising the right knee only. Lifting it off the floor, bringing it towards the chest and grabbing the knee with your arms behind the knee and under the lower leg. Noticing any sensations present. Perhaps this leg has different limits than your others. And if you'd like, making small circles, moving the knee in a way that feels comfortable for you, side to side, back and forth. Exploring the flexibility of this hip joint, upper leg and pelvis. Maintaining awareness on your breathing as well. And experimenting with the head position. If that feels comfortable for you, raising the head, lifting it towards the knee, but not touching the knee necessarily. And returning the head back to the floor, releasing the knee, lengthening the leg, resting it on the floor, and returning your arms, palms facing upward, turning to corpse pose. Bringing awareness to the sensations in your hip, pelvis, and legs after you've done this work. What's here now? And we will be moving from the corpse pose onto a kneeling position, balancing on hands and knees. So, intentionally considering what's the best way for you to move, turning over, coming up off the floor and onto your hands and knees. Bringing seamless awareness to even this change of position between poses. All those intentional decisions. So placing your hands on the floor underneath your shoulders, shoulder width apart. And placing your knees under the hips and the pelvis. And flattening the back. Letting your back be flat like the surface of a table for table pose. Allowing your head, just your eyes, to look straight down to the floor. Trying to maintain the table pose through your neck as well, flattening. Keeping it in line, your spine in line. From your back all the way up to your head. Breathing in and breathing out. So we'll be moving into the cat position, which is like a Halloween cat arching its back. The cat is scared or startled. So as you breathe out, arching your back up towards the ceiling and dropping your head, almost feeling like you're tucking your chin, but letting it hang, your head hang down towards the floor, and stretching the back up towards the ceiling. So you feel the arch. Noticing any sensations. And then breathing in and letting your back relax down, lifting the head all the way up, looking straight forward, and allowing the back to sag a little, similar to the back of a cow. Maintaining your limits and what's right for you. So breathing in again and arching the back up in cat pose. towards the ceiling, head down. And then allowing your back to move down, lifting the head up, eyes straight forward, and allowing the back to sag. Experimenting with the pace here now. You can fluctuate on your own between these two poses, cat and cow, arching up into the cat, and then sagging down into the cow. Perhaps speeding up from my instruction or slowing down, whatever feels comfortable for you. Bringing awareness to your breathing and this movement of your body. What sensations are here? And now returning back to table, so flattening your back, allowing your eyes to look straight down at the floor, aligning the spine. And now we're going to move into a balancing posture from this table position. Being careful to stay within your limits. So, taking the left leg and lifting it off the floor as high as feels comfortable for you. Maybe just a little bit or all the way. Careful not to raise the leg past the hips. You want it to, at the highest point, just be straight out from your back, aligning with your spine. And then if it feels right for you, raising the right arm, the opposite arm, just right out in front of you as far as you may be able to raise it. Careful not to go above the shoulders. And taking your gaze and looking out towards the fingertips. Noticing all the muscles that are engaged to balance your body in this posture. Being aware of your limits, at times challenging yourself, but resting when needed. And now releasing the arm back down to the floor and returning the leg, returning to a table pose. Breathing in and breathing out. And now doing the opposite side. So if you followed my instruction, lifting the right leg. Lifting the right leg, straightening it back behind you. Careful not to lift it past the hips. Just straight out. As far as it feels, as high as it feels right for you. Balancing the leg. Noticing the sensations, the muscles working to raise the leg. And then raising the opposite arm. The left arm. Bringing it forward and up in front of you, reaching to the other side of the room, and letting your gaze, your head lift and look towards the end of your fingertips. Noticing the muscles that it takes to balance this side of your body. And lowering the hand and arm. Returning the leg down. Lowering the head. Returning to table pose. And maybe with the next breath in, arching your back up again into cat pose. And returning back to table. And now deliberately and intentionally returning back to the floor on your back. however that feels right for you. So turning around and over and laying down on your back into corpse pose. So legs are kind of splayed out from each other, so your toes are kind of putting in opposite positions. Relax. Your arms are by your side, palms up. Sensing the relaxed shoulders and face. And bringing awareness to your abdomen, your diaphragm, and your breathing. Breathing in and breathing out. Feeling the effects of all this work on your body from that balancing pose. Feeling the mat and the floor supporting your body, breathing fully and freely. We're bending. Now we're going to bend the knees again. Bringing your feet flat against the floor, maybe even like a little bit closer to your hips. And then, as we did in the first posture, bringing your arms, raising them from the side, from your side, straight over your head, reaching to the opposite wall. So we have bent knees and our arms are over our head, next to our ears. You also have the option to lay the arms down by the side, whatever feels more comfortable for you in this position. And next we're raising the pelvis up off the floor towards the ceiling, lifting your abdomen up, using the abdomen muscles, your back, and raising it towards the ceiling as high as it feels comfortable for you. Noticing the muscles that are engaged and holding this posture only as long as it's appropriate for you. Breathing in and breathing out, trying not to hold the breath. And now lowering the body slowly, returning the back to the floor, vertebrae by vertebrae, slowly and mindfully. And noticing any sensations as your hips make contact with the floor again. Noticing those sensations and experiencing what the release from the posture feels like to you, gaining that support of the floor. Returning the legs, straightening them. Bring the arms down, turning to corpse pose. Breathing in. Noticing the effects of just having completed this posture. And then bringing the knees up again, feet flat on the floor, bending the knees. And now taking your fingers and interlacing them together and placing them behind your head. Maybe that place where your head and neck meet feels like a little bit of a space where you can put your hands interlaced behind there, just providing your neck some support. So your elbows are facing away from each other. They're splayed out on the floor. Your arms, if you're able to, they're flat against the floor. Knees are still pointing to the ceiling. we're going to do a twist. So lowering your knees to the left side, creating a twist in the spine, and noticing how the hip comes up off the floor as you lower the knees. Attempting to leave your shoulders remaining on the floor, relaxing them as much as they can. You kind of even stack the feet on top of each other. If you'd like, you can turn your head towards the opposite side of your knee, so towards the right. Only if that feels comfortable for you. Again, experimenting with the position of the head. So your knees will lower to the left, perhaps looking towards the right. Careful not to be holding the breath. Breathing in and breathing out fully. And then returning the head to center, lifting the knees back up towards the ceiling. Taking a breath in and out. And now lowering the knees to the opposite side towards the right. So as far as they'll go, perhaps they reach all the way to the floor. Your legs are again stacked on top of each other, knee touching knee, foot touching foot. Attempting to leave the shoulders flat against the floor. So just twisting the lower spine. And if it feels comfortable for you, experimenting with the position of the head, looking towards the opposite direction of the knees, towards the left. Breathing into whatever sensations, twisting you can feel right now. Opening and softening to the sensations as best as you can. Being present. And now bringing the head to center, raising the knees back to center so they're pointed towards the ceiling. Bringing your arms out from behind your head and resting them alongside your body. Knees are still pointed towards the ceiling. Breathing in and breathing out. And now, leaving your right knee as it is, facing the ceiling, and lifting the left, straightening the left leg out. So the right knee is still bent, facing the ceiling, and the left leg is straightened. And now you're going to raise the left leg. It doesn't have to be completely straight. You can bend the knee a little bit. Just raising that leg as far as feels comfortable for you. Noticing your limits and honoring that 60%. Bring the leg to whatever height is appropriate for you. Perhaps sensing the feeling of the blood moving as you lift that leg. And experimenting with perhaps rotating the ankle or flexing the foot so that almost like you would put a footprint on the ceiling. Allowing the shoulders and the face and the chest to be as relaxed as possible here. And now, reaching up, if you are able to, and holding the leg with your hands, using both hands to hold the leg. in whatever way is right for you. It could be the thigh, it could be your hands go around the knee or the calf. Feeling how the hands and the arms increase the stretch. And holding this posture only as long as it's right for you. Experimenting with the head position again, so lifting the head towards the knee if you'd like. And releasing the head, releasing your arms from your leg, lowering the left leg all the way down, mindfully and slowly, all the way down until you feel your ankle and leg touch the support of the floor. And slowly bending the knee to join the right bent leg. And now straightening out the right leg, leaving the left leg bent, knee pointed towards the ceiling. Same stretch, lifting the right leg straight, but with a bent knee if you need it. Straightening that leg and lifting it up. Raising the leg to whatever height is appropriate for you. Honoring your limits. Experimenting with the foot position. So flexing the foot as if you were to stamp a footprint on the ceiling. Circling the foot, the ankle. If it feels right for you, reaching up with your hands and clasping them around the leg, either the thigh, the knee, the calf, placing wherever it feels comfortable. Noticing sensations of an increased stretching, perhaps. And experimenting with the head position, neck and shoulders up off the floor, if that feels right for you. And releasing the head, releasing the leg, and mindfully, slowly lowering the leg back down to the floor. Allowing both legs to extend out back into corpse pose. Legs out, palm up against your side. Noticing sensations present after that work you've completed. And now turning on your mat or on the floor towards the left side. So laying on your side, rolling your body over, supporting your head on your hand, the left hand, sort of resting in your hand, your elbows bent. Allowing your right arm to just lay in front of you near your belly button, just rest flat on the floor. Legs are stacked on top of each other, and lifting the top leg, keeping the leg straight, toes pointed, engaging the leg, and lifting it to a height that feels comfortable and appropriate for your limits. Noticing the muscles engaged in this stretch. Breathing in and breathing out and lowering the leg. Coming back to corpse pose, turning back on your back. Breathing in and breathing out. Now forming the intention to roll over to the right side. Just as before, supporting your head and the palm of your right hand, elbows bent. Your left arm is resting against the abdomen, perhaps near the belly button, and just the left palm is resting flat against the floor. Legs are stacked. Raising the top leg up into the air straight, as far as feels right to you, keeping the toes pointed. Breathing in and breathing out. Awareness both to the muscles and to your breathing. Lowering the leg, turning back onto your back. To corpse pose. And now making the intention to actually roll all the way over onto your belly. And turning your head and resting your left cheek on the floor. Experimenting if you want your eyes open or closed. Your arms are against your sides. Relaxing the shoulders. Perhaps noticing a simple stretching as your neck is turned. Breathing in, breathing out. Bringing your head back to center, letting your chin rest against the floor. Eyes kind of looking a little bit forward. Leaving your hands against the side, palms facing up. And gently lifting the left leg up as high as feels right for you. Straight, maintaining the straight leg. Noticing a tendency to hold the breath. Returning the leg down back to the floor. And lifting the right leg. Lifting it off the floor as to a height that feels comfortable, appropriate for you. Engaging the muscles but honoring your limits. Still chin pressed against the floor, eyes peering forward. Palms facing upward on your hands. Breathing in and breathing out. Lowering the leg. Both legs come together and are touching each other. Toes pointed. And leaving the arms where they are into a gentle cobra pose. So as far as it feels comfortable for you, lifting your chest, head, neck, chin off the floor. As far as feels right for you. Only using the muscles of the back, aware of any sensations or thoughts in the mind. Now lowering down slowly, lowering the shoulders, the neck, the head, resting your head on the opposite cheek, on the right cheek. So turning your head so that your right cheek is laying against the floor. Breathing naturally and normally. And now coming back onto your back, intentionally rolling over onto your back in your own time and pace, whatever way is right for you. If you would like, you can draw your knees into your chest, clasping your hands and arms around your knees again and massaging the back after the cobra pose. Rocking on the back. And then whenever it feels right for you, releasing that, coming back to corpse pose. Allowing your body to release into the floor. Perhaps releasing with each breath out. Bringing awareness to the breathing in the abdomen. letting go as completely as possible. Letting go of any thoughts that might have arisen during these exercises. Using your concentration power to focus on the breathing, deliberately and intentionally, with kindness, curiosity, following each cycle of your breathing. Breathing in and knowing you're breathing in, and breathing out and knowing you're breathing out. Congratulating yourself for this practice, this strengthening and nourishment that you've provided to your mind and body.